Nah, I didn't miss it that time. If. Oh. That's not the best one. Neither's that. They're the same. We could get off. We can't, but that's a really good start for other runs. Holy, look at the height. And this could have been the obelisk run. This could be an almost anything run. Zap, zap, zap. Oh, come on, game. Oh, I've never had one wrapped fully around the tower before. They just jinx it. It's not going to happen now. Oh, banditry. Easy banditry there. Ah, I jinxed it. I can still turn back around. This would be a great ballistas only run. Yeah, but I've done so many ballista only attempts and other things. I don't have the dot pop either. Does it matter? Gold Rush. I haven't seen Gold Rush in forever. What's in my... Oh, it's because I've got mine. Okay, that's why Gold Rush is there, because I've got mine. I was wondering why I hadn't seen Gold Rush in forever. It's such a terrible card. Like, we thought the other one... What were we talking about? The other card was... Like, that has to be the single worst card in the game. Oh, the Raider. It's the fast forward button. Yeah. They've officially has said there'll be no fast forward button. So suck it, idiots. He didn't say to suck it, idiots, but I'm ad-libbing. Taking some journalistic liberties there. Honey. Had a slow down button. Don't make that suggestion because that possibly would get put in the game. I want to make sure I hit the... Oh, if we hit the shield cards early, that'd be good. You can just press P repeatedly to slow it. Maybe then the dev would fix all the frame rate dependency issues. No. Okay. Yeah, and I don't want to harp on it because I have started to feel a bit like a jerk because I am enjoying the game. But a lot of the reasons that things are in the game is because of limited capabilities. That's certainly not from Unity and not from computers in general. But, you know, some people do things outside of their, you know, training and experience and can do some okay things with that. And, okay, I'll take that for future. Oh, man, this could fold in on itself. Level 13 portal. I mean, I'd play it out because I'm streaming and it'll make for fun entertainment anyway. And I don't want to appear like a big baby, but a little bit of inside. If I was playing this off stream and it turned in on itself, I would just hit the quit game button and try again. Means we don't have to pick the range card though, ever. It also means we don't pick Haunted House. Woo! So where's the next portal opportunity? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, Sneaky, I was really hoping it was going to wrap around the back. I'm yet to have a single lane do a full wrap. Hey Crit, how you doing, man? Does that mean we take... I still think we... Well, I kind of want haunted houses for post whatever, but I don't want to take it if it's going to turn in on itself. Although there'd be a couple, they might actually pay themselves off. Could still happen. Gonna keep him on pure progress. Skilled X-Arc, Meter of Worlds first time. You like the fight's way more than serious? Oh, good man. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just killed Arakali. I'm just taking maps in small pieces, just so that I can. Because one of the biggest reasons not maps, acts. One of the reasons I haven't played is so I don't have big chunks of time, and I figured, you know what, I don't need big chunks of time. If I just set a small goal to do in like 20 minutes and beat out half an act, or if I get 40 minutes and I can play one of the acts completely, then that's fine. Because then eventually if I get to maps, I know I'll sit down and do like 2 maps in the, you know, have breakfast and do 2 maps and then get on with my day. And then maybe later play another 1 or 2 maps. Yeah. Hey, baby tech, where's the Panz blip 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 emote? You can use Panz steer, I guess. Yeah, so I think I've put my character says 11 hours, but it's more likely 7. You know, because I've left it logged in sometimes just in case I get a chance to quickly do another section. I had a death very early because I was mucking around and didn't know what I was doing at some point and being distracted. That was like in Act 1, which happens, you know. But then I think I died to Innocence. Typical, like I died when Innocence had like 2 hit points left. And somewhere else, so only, you know, there's still 3 deaths, but, you know, if I really want to compare performance, I'd say, you know, when I'm trying to be focused and dying, 2 deaths. So I'm really happy with that. I'm doing a Wintertide level. We're going to be changing over to... What's the fire one? Righteous Fury, is it? You are allocating passives? Yeah, but things, when you die because you're not paying attention, they're still deaths, right? You still got to say that's a death. But if you knew that if you were really going to be paying attention because, you know, you're playing hardcore or whatever, or the gauntlet, you know, if you weren't paying attention for no other reason that you'd been playing so long that you'd lost focus, I think that one counts. Like if you're just wanting to compare your performance against yourself, not against other people, but just against yourself for, you know, improvements or goals or whatnot. Oh man, we could turn in here. But no, I'm enjoying it. I like the Wintertide. I'm a bit worried about when we transfer over to the fire build. Mainly for gems. I've never done a transition. Like this is a big... I mean, the tree transition isn't too big, but like changing out all the skills, I'm a little concerned. Oh yeah, I'm talking about Path of Exile, sorry. One of the things I noticed too, I definitely think my issues on League Start have been you doing a different League Starter every league. We don't have Poison yet, but Creeping Cough, oh, we'll probably go for 1 health. I do want to get Creeping Cough in though. You didn't understand a word I said, so you assumed it was Path of Exile. Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption. Man, these all suck without thing. I do want to get another one in. It's going to depend what happens here. Because I normally only play the one character, I think having different League Starters, where it makes me uncomfortable is knowing when I'm going to be picking up the next skill or picking up the next support gem. So I think I'm going to try and find... It's not going to be SRS, but I love SRS. But I think I'm going to find a different League Starter just to make my League Starter. So I can get in and do stuff. And then if I get time, you know, start looking at a second build. Imagine Shredder on this map. Yeah. I like the idea of bleed damage. I want the poison though for shields more than I want bleed. Alright, I want to get another radar in, but I need to be prepared for... I actually don't mind. If this goes too far away, I like the idea of having a plane that doesn't see out here. Right? So it prioritizes targets not on progress, but on something like armor. Like this guy, right? So this one's going to prioritize... Well, he's prioritizing progress, but he could prioritize armor, but will only do the highest armor unit in this range, which is really valuable because he's not going to compare... Like if a tank bot gets through, but there's a huge armor unit out here, He's going to go for the huge armor unit in here. I like that. So I think we're not taking range because of that. Let's... Flamethrowers are good, man. No force required. Flamethrowers is one of the earlier ones that I did where I only had ballistas on houses, and flamethrowers just did all the work. They costed and I did that before the first patch, so they were more expensive than poison, and definitely more expensive than Tesla, but they did just as equal a job. And they give you a really good early game boost because others will be dead. Because of how much fire does to armor. You still prefer doing ballistas? Yeah, that's fair. I've found when I've done the ballista +1 runs, it's been outside of the plains and frost peaks and encampments to some extent, but the other ones it felt like you're putting out, you know, somewhere between 6 and 12 of the +1 tower and just making it swole. Okay, now we're into gravestones. We don't have them yet. Just put those down so that we can start getting our mana up for if we do get them, because I want to see if we can give these a good test. Mortars are innate in the deck with the armored branch on their tree unlocked. When you play your first game, how much experience you get really comes down to if on turn 3 or 6 you draw mortar. Let's get traces 3. Unless there's haunted house, I want to check for haunted house every time. That pushing to +7 shield damage is pretty big. There's the split. On actual progress, most armor, most shield, most armor, high health, most armor, high health. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm wondering if I want to, which leg I want to run back. Like, I could run that one back. But the problem with that is it focuses everything back into range. So I think by running one of these out, we're better off. Okay. Unless, of course, it turns back in on itself. I wonder if we work them evenly until we get the second split. Oh, I got poison. Let's go creeping cough. Does mean we get a little bit of convergence, but we start pushing them further away from the original lane. Did I get more haunted houses I can use? No. Rude. Start wondering if we want to pump up the planes as well. Especially the shield ones, like do we want to just destroying one of these quicker? Maybe not yet. More radars up front, please. Thank you. It's a little scary. You don't think the haunted house next to the 3 space is working? Which one? Oh, yeah, no, I think you're right there. It's lower. Cool. Are planes best for these 1 tile wide spans as opposed to other towers you want shooting multiple paths and lanes? I don't know if best. The one we got with the old plane could have had like a single path out to probably not this far, but then the path sort of split and wrapped around itself, and then the path over here split and wrapped around itself. We had a nice little path in the middle, and they converged and sprayed down. That's on a +2. So we don't get to use any of those gravestones. Plane will chase one of those down real quick. Like that plane just then, he came in, took a dive, couldn't line up his shot and got out. And look, he's just doing nothing now. He's like, watch this guy. Look, he's struggling. There he goes, he hit some shots. So there's always that issue. Whereas some other times you see a plane like mow something down, get up, turn around, shoot again. I don't think we can use that one. Nope. Keeping these guys down here just to not kill up the chain right now. But I am going to move down that way. I was wondering about that as well. And again, it's wondering if I'm just misremembering, because I know I've said in the past no gravestones after 25, but then I think I've seen some. Or I'm just, you know... Okay. There are no new gravestones after 25. Sometimes a spot opens up next to an existing one. Interesting. Gravestone spot on new section, mana. Thanks. Oh, might be there. Yeah. Pretty sure that's a miss. Yeah. Thank you. I get a few spots here. Okay, so that makes him inefficient. There's a complete... Oh, I can mana bank, I guess. Two mana banks. Alright, I'm gonna throw a plane down at forward post. We've got a lot of these planes now in really good spots, only coming out to here. So I probably don't want to build off this one too much now. Because the whole idea was to get the new ones coming in, not to target the ones coming out of here. So this is kind of actually bad for us with our plane strategy. I didn't want to be hitting these guys up first. I wanted to be hitting these ones up first. But I also don't want to risk a split out of that one. Murder that bat. Better. I definitely want to take the time to place. So the downside with that one is it misses a little bit here, but the trade-off is we do get a lot more damage up there, and I think it's fine. I can also get a second one in straight away, which I'll probably put there on armor. I wonder how well this one goes instead. It's a little bit more forward on that one, but not really. I place a house next to one of the gravestones on the tile previous to the last one. I can. I've got a bunch of, I mean, maybe there. No, that one's only a +1, and that gravestone's on a +2, so I won't get anything from it. I can still place it, it just won't do anything. I don't know which tile that is, man. Which one was the last one? This one? If you're talking about there, same deal. This one here is on a +1. That's on the ground floor, so I won't get anything. But yeah, I can place houses anywhere in there, they just won't do anything. Right next to the southernmost one. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so that's on a +2. And that's on ground floor. That's a +1. That's ground, won't get anything. There? Is that a +2? Yep, okay, cool, thanks. That's right. I think try not to do time relative things when talking to people on Twitch. Go for something that assume someone else was in the channel and they hadn't been watching and you were telling them where it could go. And so like direction's usually the best option. Or like position or relative to something else that can just be seen as if you're approaching the board for the first time. Yeah, they're tough to see because there's no outline on the top of the tiles. I still think, even though we miss out a little bit there, I think that's probably the best option for forward at the moment. I'm just trying to find where the best second spot is, which I'm probably just going to take. That's the best one for one that's going to get the coverage I want to get. But I think the next one is missing out a little bit of this coverage, and I'm fine with that. I think it's going to be here, and I want to place it. Yeah, and I want to place it after I get the money. But I want this one in first on progress. I wonder if I go most shield on that one. I want this on most armor. I'm probably going to put another one further down here that just sort of encapsulates this area. In which case then there's no point being progress here. We go like most armor on this one and most shield on another one. Yeah, so I'm definitely not pushing. I didn't want to push this one anyway, but I'm definitely not pushing it now. So Oogie gets destroyed because anything with a most will target him till he's dead now. I don't want one that's likely to fold back towards these towers. I want to keep them sort of inclusive of this area, the starting path. So I'm not going to expand out that way. I'm going to take that one. We really want the path to separate and take its time to get here because we're using haunted houses. I don't know if I push up. I think we then progress, armor, shield, health. Game says, you think you got a plan, huh? It's not too bad, because the planes do thin out around the dents, especially if they're targeting something that's, like if they target like this armor guy and they spray down. But because it's on a long leg, the fast and slow guys will start to spread out. So, and the problem is, I think these two are really close to each other. But I guess I just build off this one. What are my outward ballistas set on? Progress. Fastest is always an option. I tend not to touch them. They're just there for house money. Not that +3. I mean, we've got to put a plane on that, don't we? That's the rule. One of the downsides of working off this side of the split and this side until we got a split off, and then focusing on that one, means that this path is the same length as that path. Yeah, too bad you can't get protection money from haunted houses yet. So one thing you could do is once you get this split, you work off both of those evenly. Now with this though, I don't know if I want to work on those. So it comes down to universities now. Versus more planes. They start taking 2 spots around home for the planes. I'm gonna take burn over bleed because we're getting up to the fiery guys. Okay, having that one on progress. Let's get another one up here for everything. Like shield and... armor and shield. Health. For progress. 2 progress, a shield, armor, health. Yeah, okay. Maybe. Yeah, I invested in universities last time, and it was too early to see what difference they had. but I just don't... The way the planes fire, I don't think it's what you want to go into. It's where it's definitely a point where I wish they hadn't removed the quality over quantity 2 and 3 cards. University is there for the 5% crit. Oh, yeah. Make a tower. I really never wanted to make a tower for a long time, and I keep saying it whenever I play one. I never actually do anything about it though. It's nice when they're all clustered up and a few planes come in and just destroy. That's largely from the creeping cough, because they come in and spray down and they see the frost building up on anything that gets hit. Okay, rocket guys next. This will be fun. What do you want to help? Your armor? Your shield? No, your progress. Where's the shield one? Down on shield, so. That's running a rampage. This is where it makes me think, do we play mine? just to have some safety hit points? I think so. I think in the scheme of things, like this is a small cost for the health protection. I think if you want to do this too, I think like building up fortification isn't too bad. You never actually want to take the fortification card, but the hit points seem alright. Mine partially obscured by a big graveyard, eh? They're about super soup. Come on. Come here. How's this haunted house been going? It's paid us $100. Now remember, it's got to pay $200 to break even, because you've got to pay the $100 for its mana. The max tower hit point achievement, yeah, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. I think there's one for 50, but you also can get, when you take fortification, what the game doesn't tell you, it puts a playable card in your deck, to the equivalent of the passive you take, so you can keep playing those cards as well. Mines are tight. Yeah. Delving down into deep holes in the ground is tight. This one's only on this leg. Interesting. Okay, missiles are making it to here. Delving into Mother Earth is tight. Morning, Pontius. How you doing? why are the enemies all running single file instead of grouping up and having good defenses so that the game could happen? Okay then. Let's grab more of the starties. I don't actually want this one to run out of here, so if it can come back in here, that'd be fine. Or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is definitely from the change of planes. Because we had way more ballistas built up in our forward camps on the previous one. Maybe a shield boy. And we started leveling the planes as well. Or is this one we haven't done the leveling? Okay. Looks like that the houses are starting to pay themselves off. We've got like enough money banked up in some of them where, yeah, some of them have paid themselves off. The early ones have. How many houses do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, 23, 233, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38, and 39 houses. So, which costs at 7,800. Really nice spot to get a bit of everything. When did we start playing them? Yeah, so I think we played them on like 26 or 27. They started paying themselves off probably about 30, so about 12 to 13 days. Around 200, well 200 gold. If you're just using mana siphons, you need 1 mana siphon per house, so it's 200 gold. And this is working because it's a longish path. Right? We wouldn't be getting as much money per path if it was a shorter path or killed them quicker. But we have played all 4 cards, so you need to be able to, make use of the 4 cards. If you're playing with all the cards, chances of seeing Seance 1, 2, and 3 and have a deck working or have a build working to afford to play it without missing out on too much offense gets lower. What's the changes on biplane? They target an enemy, and then they don't retarget until that enemy's destroyed. So they will take a second pass at an enemy if you've got if you're targeting most health, and it comes through and doesn't kill that enemy, but it's got very little health, and there was like an identical enemy near it. It won't change to that one, whereas other towers will. Start getting 5% crits, probably. Do we have no university tiles? That's kind of funny. So the reason you... Yeah. So the reason someone said they got the achievement on turn 35 or 36, they couldn't remember. The reason you get that earlier is because you can only get university spots from round 26 to 35. So you don't need to win the game because, yeah, you just can't get anything here on out. But I wasn't going to invest in them anyway. I might have just played them down if I'd had scholarship in. I think I can get radars to cost 10k gold each. Maybe. More on home stretch to handle the spawns? Maybe. Oh, this is an Oogie round. Where's Oogie dead? Reset breakthrough. I guess shields isn't too bad. He spawned and died within 3 tiles, yeah. Because all the planes will focus on him until he's dead. So scholarships opens up another 5% crit card, which is really bad. We're playing cards for 2.5% crit each, but kind of okay with that. I had a run ages ago, but didn't split until 31. And then I got 2 splits a little bit later, and the little end bit sort of wrapped around itself. And the path leading sort of went up heaps and then back heaps, and then sort of did this little split into like a big ball. Took forever. That was the one we had with the token frost towers. Wow, that's the every tile. Good for you, son. That could be a progress one. I think this is working more because of the new targeting system. So with the plane back here that, like this guy here, that's on, he's on most health, most shield. He picks out like one of the guys with lots of shield, and stays on that guy until that guy is dead. It doesn't get any time to run around the map and regenerate that shield because he didn't kill him on the first wave. Right? He'll come down and go, oh, didn't get you. Oh, didn't get you. Oh, you're gone. Then he picks another one. It also means if he goes for, like if this one goes for a beholder because it's most health, he'll keep going back and forth on that beholder, and then that beholder will pop its eyes, which are faster, so they'll work their way through and catch up to the frontline ones, instead of having beholders get popped down here. One of the things I'm concerned about with the range card is I like the idea that these guys are only hitting this stuff. They're not hitting stuff out of here, except they kind of are, and they will a little bit. But that's only a close portal. It means they're not chasing, you know, all the way out to here. They sort of have to choose their priority in here. So I kind of don't want to take range. The downside is that towers out here could hit a little bit further, you know, which could be valuable. And I wonder if the crit level, if the levels are high enough, because we also haven't been really pumping in, but they're like level 11, that's usually enough. Let's go with that. Oh, that has to be it. Tradition is tradition. Oh, it's 7k. We'll get onto it in a bit. Hey, Voicery, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, this is cursed. Where's the this is cursed channel spends? Malmberg gets in first now. Yeah, that dedicated targeting on the planes, I love it. It's such a good idea. And especially if you're focused, you've got some dudes killing armored units. They kill the big armored units first, which then release their missiles. And so the missiles come down and all the progress planes have plenty of time to get in on them. Or they get picked up by the house protection. Man, that dude, that was a rocket dude, just got destroyed. Here's one. Yeah, rocket dude's getting killed from way back. Yeah, so the rockets, yeah, they'll work their way forward. They might get picked up by a progress one over here. Wave 40 will sort us out, right? That's how that works, I think. It's been a thing that we put towers on the, whatever the plus ballista towers, that we put them on the big tall towers when we play. It's probably not the greatest of spots, but you know, tradition. I'm gonna take the scholarship to open up the crit card. That one will be an okay tower. That one will be a really good tower, actually. That'll be where Oogie comes from. Probably the only downside to the planes is that Brain Oogie, you could just leave if you've got enough damage in to take care of his spawns, which I think we do. mean, they're kind of getting through, but like these, I think they're in range of these houses, these house ballistas as well. I think that felt like a panic drop, but... Is it worth sprinkling the ballistas here and there to help slow bunching enemies? In a normal game it would be, except we're doing this run with ballistas, only house ballistas, so that would like fail the challenge. But definitely not worth. They gotta make it so radar stops shooting from behind, or just make their bullets always hit? No. The idea is that the plane sprays down, and if you've got units clumped up, you can hit other units with it. So that would become a different tower. And they'd have to, if they were gonna do that, they'd have to change the plane's damage calculation and probably make it do a lot less damage, make it less effective overall. I don't think anyone wants that. You want it to be, as good as possible. Especially with creeping cough, if a plane comes down and sprays on 10 enemies, and because it's high damage shooting, you get 10 enemies get slowed, it's really good. If anything, maybe stop the planes from flying through clipping below the ground, because they don't shoot when that happens. So if they could just get the pilots to be less drunk, I'd probably agree with that. Let's take some longbow then, I guess. Yeah, less drunk pilots would be good. Place a haunted house with ballistas around, no one will notice. I'm gonna chat, dirty cheaters. You'd appreciate if the plane is guaranteed to land one shot on their target per pass. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think if that was the change, where if a plane was doing a pass and it was guaranteed to get at least one of the bullets on the target, I think that's totally reasonable, right? So I think what's happening is, by having more forward offense, especially the planes, targeting enemies that drop spawns, the spawns are dropping and getting caught in a lot of spray as well. So like this beholder here gets killed and its eyes run up here, the eyes can get caught in the spray, which means there'll be less of them to, go further. 0% sneaky used to be an attack. When you used to be an attack by plane, you never missed. When you sprayed your load, you'd always guaranteed hit the target with one of the shots. I think I saw that on the internet sometime. That's crit. Nice, that's a good spot for a tower. I'll put that one on health. Yeah, so I went for these ones. I went for this one first just to make sure I had Oogie's path taken, because you don't want to do that one last, otherwise Oogie doesn't come from there. And then I wanted these ones because if I can get some towers in early, it gives us the most coverage, right? Whereas anything spawning on towers up here doesn't do as much. Oh, this is wave 40. Got a beholder here. A bunch of eyes getting cleaned up. I don't mind if they're coming in to kill this unit, and they do, if they take some wild shots over at another unit that miss. You know, I kind of figure if they get any of those that are hit, that's like a good bonus. Are we worried about this? Not really. Maybe if more planes could do their job. Well, with 36 hit points, I'm not worried about that. Like, that's only 4 eyeballs. This is a little bit of a worry. Ooh. Hello. A lot of these planes, though, will change to progress when big things are dead. It's a little bit of a worry. 40 always sorts you out, right? We leaked 5. Progress planes are not really progress anymore. They shoot, they slow. Other fast enemies overtake the target and the planes ignore that fact. Kind of. When they pick their target, though, they pick the one that's the most progress. They've got to choose a target at some point. And when they do, they go in to shoot that one. So it depends on the old plane when they change target. If it was immediately after they shot the previous volley, or if it's when they ascend again, or if it's when they decide they're turning around and they're coming in for an approach. So without knowing exactly when they chose their previous target, the same thing could happen. They could be like, okay, I'm on progress now. I've picked this target. I didn't kill my last target, but because I'm the old plane, I'm going to check to choose a new target. Okay, and I'm on progress. I'm choosing that guy. And then they could ascend, turn around, and the same thing could be happening that you've just said. It could be a slow enemy that was at front that's been overtaken. It could be an enemy that, so that's going to happen anyway. The difference is now, this time, and that could still happen now. They could pick a target after they kill an enemy. The difference is if they don't kill an enemy, they go back after it again. And I still think overall, though, that the current one is a better performer than the previous one in terms of being able to, especially for overkill. The last time one we had, we'd see so many times 3 or 4 planes coming in, on the front units, and it was a lot of waste. There were a lot of times where clumping made that good, but a lot of times where that was a waste. At least now, if you've got 5 or 6 different planes going for 5 or 6 different units, they're each going to kill that unit, and there might be a bit of overspray everywhere. I think with these ones, it's more about raw planes. Yep. So I think that means get another plane down. Yeah, I want to get in up here. I wonder if that, as the newer planes level as well, if it's going to make much of a difference. Didn't have to pull any more mines while we were doing this, did we? Get those extra hit points up. Selling and rebuying mines heals you. Let's see it for once. No, you lose the hit point when you sell the mine. Probably rightly so. This is something that we did find out in the last plane win. That as the wave thins, because all the other planes drop off their targets, and you get down to mostly spawn, there's a huge convergence of planes, so there was this constant spray down. Not this close to home, we weren't having them this close to home. 5 crit. But the waves, we were probably getting about that far from home. Because the planes were all coming in to become progress planes, the spray down felt much better. There's a lot of stuff coming through. Beholder's not dead. Why not upgrade existing towers? Because we're trying to just put out max towers to see, without upgrading, if we can have ballistas around houses only, and then just deploying radars. It's got nothing to do with best practice or the way you quote unquote should play. But in the previous attempt with the old planes, we leveled. I can't remember what level we put them all at, and we got to a certain stage of the game where if a new plane tower got put down and got given its priority, it got given like 5 or 10 levels. Because it was definitely the most cost-effective way to do it. Now we're just sort of looking at place them down. Oh, this is interesting. So we weren't taking range because we wanted to confine these towers to units within here. But I'm wondering if we do want to push that out now. I don't know if we do. I don't think we want them focusing on more things coming through. We want to keep them in this range. So definitely take mana bolts. Oh, and I don't want to open up mortar stuff. I don't think there's that much left we actually want, so anything that the ballistas do, I suppose, is better. Really more on the health. Armor guys haven't been an issue. Let's go health then. And I do need to get a tower up there because that is tradition. So we have 2 more openings. They will blow things up further. But remember, they don't change target. So the ones that are focusing on max shield or max armor, instead of helping out sooner, they'll be focusing on units further away longer. On the plus side, we would have some of the ones out here would focus on enemies a little bit longer. Guys that are on straight progress would be able to start attacking some of the stuff sooner, but they usually get into that, like they're on like within range now. Theoretically, I could rejig all the priorities after taking the max range. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. I've often found that like 40 and 41 are the biggest jumps. 40 definitely, but if you deal with that, anything that was still there is more like you've got a few more levels here and there, and then you go put more down because you get so much money. And then you get a global card, you know, like whether it be 5 crit or, you know, one of the, you know, any card that affects everything or a majority of the things. So you just become so much stronger versus the wave. Scholarships 3 does nothing for us now, but it does open a 5% crit card, which we could get next turn. And it's probably better than Poison Bolts from what Ballistas can do, so... Although, them dealing with eyes is probably pretty good, but I don't think it matters so much. So we'll go for the chance at 5% crit. I'm just leaving these guys unprioritized because they're so underleveled. I figured them chasing down an individual target's not doing much, but on priority they're at least going to smash down bullets into a big chunk of enemies. Living on progress. I think you know what change planes need? To continue spraying the ground on their attack pass even if the target dies early. I think that's fair. But it only really works if they're coming down the, like from behind or in front of the target, so they're spraying along the road. When they come in and hit a target from the side, like, it just feels not so good. But I think that's a, you know, something like that's probably alright, yeah? Yeah, one plane, the radar is what you control. So it's one radar dude per plane. Very inefficient in terms of warfare, but, you know, one of the biggest concerns for the next wave is that so many things are probably just going to focus on Oogie. We're going to lose a lot of early firepower, which is another reason to keep the range low. So at least we can be dealing with some of this stuff. There's a couple eyes in here that I'm a little bit concerned about. But outside of that one wave, I think it was 40, was it, where we leaked 5 eyes? We haven't leaked since. If you really want to as well, I'm not going to because I just can't be bothered. I think for purposes of demonstration, I think this shows that it can be done. We've got only house ballistas, we haven't upgraded, we've only set some very basic priorities. Oh, there's the 5 crit. Nice. Everything's worked out. We followed a strategy with the waves and the splits on what we're going to expand on based on when splits happen. You know, kind of played it like a tool-assisted run. So you could definitely do whatever you want to make some improvements, whether it be throw ballistas certain spots to group them up for slows, give ballistas a different thing on the final wave, delete all the houses, because once you get your money, they're doing nothing else. So you could delete all of those and your mana siphons, and that would be worth for us an extra 7,200. So then we'd get to see how much profit we made. Like I said, I can't be bothered. Didn't get radars to 10k. You never know. If I sold all the things, we might be able to afford the... We only need to get 2 more played. Like I said, there's 7,200 in the houses. You're not going to do it. Can't be bothered. Where's Oogie? There he is. So we've got a few planes that are going to follow him until he dies, which, like I said, that's the one of the bad spots for us now, is that we lose those planes until Oogie dies. So there could be a lot of offense coming we're missing out on. He's almost out of armor. He's out of armor. He's dead. So those planes will go back about their business. Well, maybe. They wouldn't have been on the mid-pack though if Oogie wasn't there, or they would have been hitting some of the high ones near the... yeah, close to the mid-pack though. But they'll catch up, I guess. He made 5 tiles. Yeah, he got to like here. But he's slow, so you've got to compare that to tile distance other planes might have. We could also do something like delete the planes from here and bring them forward. Okay, can't be bothered. And it's one of the things I appreciate. There's no real time with pause option on spacebar because, you know, I just couldn't be bothered. Are we going to leak any on the final wave? That's the question. Build the mines. Do I have more mines I could build? Yeah, I guess. That's something I should have been doing along the way because I did employ that as a strategy. Victory, and we didn't leak on that wave. So, new planes, definitely better than the old planes. I don't even think it's close. Now, if you're trying a different play style that favoured the old planes, then obviously they wouldn't be. But just in general, I think their usage as, you know, if you're playing with the entire set of cards open because for some reason you want to have the entire set of cards open. If you do that, I would honestly say don't expand on any of the 3 main branches. Just take whatever's given to you in the main branch, and maybe take one of the optional bottom paths if it's available on cards. But I think for that reason, I think then Plane becomes a singular, you are going to target this type of enemy, or you're going to be a boss killer, or something. Hey, Ahmed, how you doing? But overall, I think they're much better. Death taxes pulled in 20 grand. We needed 7.2 to break even. So it made a total of 12,000, which is less than what you get in one of the final rounds. Is it worth it? Probably not. We're playing with a very lean deck, so we knew we were going to get to play Seance 1, 2, and 3 early. You know, if you're playing with a bigger deck, there's a very, very good chance you don't get to play Seance 1 and 2. You're almost definitely not going to get to play. You might get a run where you get to play Seance 3, and then awesome. But you're probably not playing 3, you're probably not playing 2. You might play 1 late. But it's unlikely, I think, you'd make your money back off it. It's not great, like most of the filler. Well, if you don't make your money back, it's bad. Right, you need to... If you're playing a mana build, you know you're going to have mana. I'm great, thanks, Armand. So that's not an issue. If you're playing with... If you don't have a mana towers, like let's say you get Shredder early, Plains, and Encampment. And you're like, cool, Shredder, Plains, Encampment, that sounds fun. And so you stop taking towers. Well, you don't need mana. So if you want to play houses, now you have to get the mana card as well. You've got to get Mana Siphon or Mana Bank. You can sell the houses to get ahead of break even, probably. Yeah, but if you're selling on the last round to break even, that's bad. That's not fine, that is bad. Because that means you are, and because there's no pause, so you have to do that while the last wave is going, and then use that gold efficiently. And since if you're using that last wave to break even, that means you've been behind the entire game. So you would have definitely been better off just not playing that money or those cards. You could probably get gold at... That's what I'm saying though, even if at round 39 you're selling to break even, or to be 1,000 gold in front, that is bad. Because you could have used that money earlier, you could have used a stronger card to, well, make your team stronger. Any units that you played earlier because you had the gold instead of investing in your houses would have gained experience by targeting enemies. The card consideration of having to take mana is the issue. Yeah, because that doubles the cost. Right? Now, if you start your game up and you get offered Tesla and Frost Tower, and let's go one more, Poison Sprayer, just for argument. So let's say you just get Tesla and Frost Tower, Mana Bolts even, right? And you go, oh cool, we could probably go like rank 1 or 2 of Mana Bolts. We've taken Tesla, we've got Frost Tower. You're going to need mana anyway, so you've got the mana card already. You don't have to worry about it. You can just play more mana. So you could probably negate that. You still have to pay for it, but you can negate the card, like the card carrying requirement, as that's no longer a negative because you would have needed that for your build. So it definitely comes down to how you're playing currently. If you're doing a challenge run, if you've changed your deck because you want to build it up. But just like trying to keep it as general as possible for people that are just looking for general strategies on slight improvements that would, you know, small things they can do that could be big improvements. Unless you're really focusing on a very slimline deck for a challenge, I just don't see having Haunted House being worthwhile. I have done the Lookout Tower achievement. It was fun. You believe this is called opportunity cost? Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity cost thing. And like it did well. Making 12,000 profit is good. It didn't take too long to get profitable. It wasn't terrible. But if you look at that as a percentage, that's what, on 7,000, making 12,000 is just under a 200% return, like a, what, 180% return. it's not like banks in blooms that they can snowball into tons of money. Mainly because you've got limited spots, but also the return's low. There's economy in other games. We'll look at house protection, right? We got 28,500 off ballistas that we use to kill things. We weren't even putting ballistas anywhere else, so we don't even factor in, how much was the next ballista going to cost us had we raised the cost of ballistas too much. Well, that's the thing. It was 12k profit to play 4 cards, and we got them early because we're guaranteed. So I don't know exactly how the mana thing increases every time you play a seance. Right? Hey, where's Z? Z, what's the mana efficiency of playing seance 1 and 2 and 3? If it just doubles it each time, which I doubt, but if it did, that means without Seance 3, you don't make any money, unless you sell in the final round. In which case then it's just like, completely no point. And you can't not have Seance, like you can't choose how many Seance cards you get. If you pick Haunted House during a run, Seance 1 gets put in your deck. If you play that, it gets replaced with 2, play that, gets replaced with 3. So it'd be an interesting one to see. You could definitely work out. Someone could play it, do a run, and it's going to be a ratio of houses as well. So someone could have it and be like, "Oh, I got this much death tax." You need to know exactly how much that cost you, and it'll be pretty close to maybe not this income share, but it'll definitely be a percentage within a certain range of per house. Like you could divide that by the number of houses, and there'll be a percentage increase range. So, like I said, very simplistic general advice. I would say don't play Haunted House. Don't pick it. It's too slow. In niche situations, you can make it okay. Yeah. But overall, I love the change to the planes. I thought this was much more fun than the previous plane run. We only have house ballistas. We've got planes on 3 spots in good locations. We put a plane on every tower unnecessarily. And it was cool. We leaked mines. Okay, we leaked 5 enemies on wave 40 for a total of 20 hit points. That was the only leaks we had, but we'd played enough mines that I think we had like 30 or 36 total hit points at that stage. So, yeah, it was cool. Some say houses are only worth it if they can touch 2 graves. It's not so much that they're not worth it for the grave cost, it becomes the card carry cost. Right? So you still have to play the same amount of cards, you know what I mean? So what's the point of playing 4 cards? Because 4 cards is a large amount of cards. That's almost 10% of the cards that you're playing for the run. Right? Just to put, like if we look for a house that's getting 2 graves, 1, 2, 3. Right? If we have a look at them, net collected 475 gold, 553. Like that's pretty good. We're up over 1,000 now. Where's the other dude? And that's at 600. Well, that's close to 1,700. Right? And if we only played those 3, we'd only need 3 mana siphons. So for the 1,700 return and only a 600 cost, we would have made 1,100 for the game. That's a great percentage. You don't bank percentages. There's no endless mode yet. 45, we won. That's why we've got the victory screen up. So, yeah, those houses that have a huge percentage return that are made like $600, yeah, great. But you've spent 4 cards, if that's the case, to make $1,100. That's just not worth it at all. I'd rather spend the 4 cards and invest a lot more money, and at least we made $12,000. It's not as great a percentage, but like I said, if you can work on the percentage thing and take 1100. I'm going to work on raw power and take 12,000. But it's still not worth it. I think that's why I just put it, like, I think, yeah, it could be tweaked and become made more viable. Definitely. And we made use of it. We got to the stage where we were trying to find cards we wanted because we had a really lean deck. We played out all the university cards with no universities for the crit value. We played the haunted houses and the seances to try and make some money. And we still got to the end and went, okay, I don't have any cards I want to play. Cool, let's just put some range on the longbows. It was a fun run. I like the new planes. It's saying that. I'm gonna hit the little streamer room, a cup of tea. We'll do another run. If you've got a challenge suggested, we could probably, if anyone's got an idea of something they want to see or something to do, none of the all ballista plus ones because I've done those to death. I could probably have a go at it. I just don't really like the triple defense. Scaled with amount of monsters killed in vicinity of the house. That's an interesting one, yeah. More useless. Well, that's the thing. Like it could be interesting. It could, if you could, you'd put more defenses around those then, right? Like that's where you'd focus your offenses. Sorry. But at least you could play towards it. You'd give the player something to aim for. Put some Teslas there and just zap zap.